Wait, you teach English to Chinese kids? So, do you speak Chinese? No, not at all. Like zero. um, this is probably besides like, what is this job that you do? This is probably the most common question I get because people are very confused. How can you teach a language to a student who doesn't speak it at all when you can't translate the words? And the truth is it feels like magic sometimes because the kids are so bright and they get it. I compare it to if you've ever learned a language like in middle school is when I started learning Spanish. I went into my 8th grade Spanish class. I will never forget it. Probably because I was like pretty scared, and it was my first time learning a language. I was intimidated. And I had this crazy Spanish teacher. Like he was a little crazy in a good way. And he did not speak one word of English for like the first week. We're looking at each other like, do you know what he's saying? Do you know what he's saying? And he would walk around the class and pick things up. He'd be like, bolígrafo. I remember him picking up backpacks. Everybody had a backpack, and he'd pick it up and go, mochila. I'm probably saying it wrong. He would pick up books and say, libro. He never spoke English. So that's kind of what this platform is like. This is how it works. There's a PowerPoint, and the kid sees it and you see it, and you can both write on it. And then you just teach like one word at a time very slowly. So oftentimes when I start, the first thing I say is hello, of course, right? And I have this, I hold it up, I say, hello, hello, hello. I actually do know hello and goodbye and a couple words in Chinese, but I never say them because you just want to speak just English. That's part of the job. Then it goes on to, what is your name? Sometimes you know the kid's name from their sign up information. Sometimes it's in Chinese characters and you have no idea. So it's just trying to get the information out of them. It's awkward at first sometimes, but then you dive right in and you're like, this is a apple, and you show an apple. Apple. Most of the time the answer is yes, they know a little bit. They have English in their schools, kind of like we have, French or Spanish or Chinese here, but they start very early. So even the kids who are like 6 and 7 years old have had a little bit of English class. But part of VIPKID is teaching 3 and 4-year-olds. It's a certification that you can or cannot do. I do because I love the little ones. And these kids, most of them have spoken zero English. So you start out very, very basic. And the older kids, yes, they can usually tell you their name, they can tell you their age, sometimes they can tell you where they're from in China, sometimes they can describe their family or pets. So it really is a wide range, but the point of this video is to say no, you do not need to know Chinese at all. No, you don't need to know any Chinese to do this job. All right, bye, all the best.